Hey guys, welcome to the show. Just a very quick update, actually. I'll try not to talk too much. I've been setting up the new TV channels over at Vimeo. So I've niched down. If you know anything about, if you follow this podcast, you'll know that I've been niching down the podcasts, and I now have 8 podcasts. So I've just set up a new podcast called Politica, which is going to have lots of books that are politically inclined, if you like. So that's really interesting. I'm only going to upload one book a week, that is, not one episode. I'll probably do a whole book. I've just done a report on the Hamas and Gaza Israel situation over there. So the thing with contemporary reports is that they're public domain, so I can share those okay for you guys. So that's really good news. So I'm quite excited about that one. I haven't done a blog for that yet. I mean, I can see one day, if I think ahead and I think, it'd be really interesting, wouldn't it, to run a sort of TV channel, politics channel. I'd really like that. But I don't have the wherewithal at this particular moment. But I always said I'd get into politics when I was 65. So you never know. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to set something up now, the embryonic stage of an idea, put it in fertile ground and see what happens. I do that a lot. I think musicians do that a lot, actually. So, I'm excited about that. I felt a bit radical today. How radical can one be without being labelled a certain way? I mean, you've got to be to do something that isn't going to get you really bad publicity as a single entity. I mean, it's different if you've got a lot of people behind you, a whole network, and you've got sort of 20 people working and you're not going to be in fear of your life. But if you're one single person, I think, speaking out can be dangerous unless you've got bodyguards. So I don't have any bodyguards. So there we go. I thought perhaps I'll rein it in for a bit, and I can be more outspoken later when I've hit the big time, and I can actually afford an army of what, darling, what? An army of guards, bodyguards and tinted window mercs and all that stuff. Hello, gorgeous, yes. So the other thing I've done today, it's taking me all bloody day, is set up the new Suzuki Kids show. So it's called Telltale Suzuki Kids, and it's on Vimeo, and it's got its own blog. So the blog is Telltale Suzuki, and if you just go there, actually, .blogspot.com, but I'll be putting that around. I'll be putting it in all the blogs, and I'll do tabs on all the other websites. You'll be able to find it, but it does take a few months to get these things part of the sort of Google network. Google takes a while to send its spiders out and get all the details, but it'll happen soon enough. And I'm starting tomorrow, and we're going to start Suzuki cello first thing in the morning, and then Suzuki piano. But what I'm going to do it a bit differently from the other times. I think the other times I was too quick. I'd race through a whole book in a couple of months, and that's not great for people. So I'm going to do one lesson a week, as if you were going to a teacher every week. Nice and steady, nice and slow. But what we'll do is we'll do little practices, and I'll share with you loads of play-along stuff. It's really cool. So lots and lots of Suzuki play-along songs, on the TV show, so you can enlarge those and watch them on your telly, which is really good news. I've already uploaded one Twinkle Twinkle Little Star for 4 hands, which is really lovely, which isn't specifically Suzuki, but, it ties in because Suzuki, the first tune we learn is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which was a Mozart piece. So, really excited about that. It's all pink and lovely and pastel-y, and there's a dragon playing a guitar as our sort of logo. So that's on the blog. What else have I done? I set up another channel as well on Vimeo. So I've got quite a few. I've got inked, which is tattooing. And what I want to do, guys, is try and get into the habit of, for my own life and my own sanity, of doing just one thing a day. You know, I've got 8 blogs, and that's 1 a day and 2 on another day. But actually, you know, I mean, I won't be that rigid about things. But kind of one day where I indulge myself in, you know, piano and cello. And one day where I indulge myself in art. Because the Academy of Arts is still up there. On Vimeo as well. So the TV station is going to grow over the coming months in tandem with the podcasts. So similar sort of vibe going on, similar channels, but not identical. Do you see what I mean? Because you can't be identical, because what works for musicians on a podcast doesn't work for musicians on video, and vice versa. Actually, there's not much that doesn't work for musicians on video. I think it's all... I'll just check my coffee's not getting too cool. I'm going to pause this and drink my coffee. Oh, that was good, guys. That's the last one of the day. I was just about to have my teeth whitened. So, God. I thought, get the talking out of the way, because I can't talk with the things in, and get all the coffees out of the way as well. So yes, I've got the Academy of Arts, which will be for arts. Particularly, I'm looking at nudes, painting nudes, you know, life drawing, and all the other sort of creative, crafty things I do. But that'll only be once a week, because I do not get the time to do more than one arty-farty session a week. So, but that's okay. And yeah, the inked one, I really need to get on with my tattoo. I've got a peacock and I need to finish it. So I thought, well, tomorrow I'm going to have the GoPro all rigged up ready. The thing with the GoPro is it needs charging quite a lot, and the way I film, you know, the quantity I film, I'm always running out of battery. But if I have it already charged in the morning, I can just pop it on my head and then, you know, straight into film. So I do my cello, do my piano, and then I can do a little bit of GoPro tattooing, which I've never done before. Which is, and it's really hard, because tattooing when you've only got one hand, because one hand's holding the phone, is really, really difficult. So I thought, oh no, that's going to be really good with the GoPro, actually. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to edit, but not that much. I'm going to keep the videos nice and short. No point in doing these long, lengthy videos. People don't actually want to sit through a big, long video. They want you to get to the point as soon as possible and get on with their lives. So that's exactly what's going to happen. So that's iServerlan on demand at iServerlan over on Vimeo, Inked TV on Vimeo, and Tale Teller Suzuki Kids on Vimeo, and there's a few others as well, but they're sort of dormant. And again, you know, setting up these things to kind of sit on and wait until you've established your brand. As you know, I wanted to do some summer DJ stuff. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I mean, I can't promise that, because there are so many other things that are going so well for me at the minute. And of course, I've got the book, you know, I've got to write the next episode. That's coming out every week. So there's a lot going on. So I'm sort of just running things by you guys so that you know what I'm doing and where I'm going next. But the dead cert is always going to be, you know, a podcast a day keeps boredom away, and definitely the immersion book series. Now, I just updated the graphics version of episode 1, and it's exactly the same, pretty much, as the narrated version on the film on YouTube. So I've had to make everything like this. It's almost the same. There are some slight variations, but they're almost the same. I had to redo so many spelling mistakes because I had, you know, copies of it on 5 or 6 different blogs, and, you know, it only takes one to be wrong, and then you copy paste that to another, and then on that one you make a mistake. And, you know, before, it's a bit like Chinese whispers, and before you know it, you've got 8 different versions of the same book. Really very, you know, that post-edit thing is really tricky, guys. Really, really tricky. But I've already got the song in my head, which is lovely. So I'll be writing the song on Monday. We'll be doing some how to write videos and podcasts on Monday for this show, because it's. Do you know what? If you've got something, if you're stipulated a subject, it's a really good way of getting the grey matter to work over time. If you know you've got to write a song, I'm looking at bookshelves at the moment. If you know you've got to write a song about a bookshelf, you've got to do it by midday. It's a really good way of. I know it's a bit ridiculous, but why is it? Because already I'm thinking, I could say, I look at my bookshelf and I think of you, the books we read while we ate stew. I mean, I'd never write that, obviously, but it was rather amusing because I'm in a silly mood. But, the books I see remind me of you. I'm not going to do this off the cuff because that's ridiculous, because I'll just come up with stew or something silly again. But that's how I write a rhyme or a ditty. And then once I've got that sort of thing, I start playing around with the key and stuff. And, you can do it. You can do it in a couple of hours if you restrict yourself and you say, right, I'm going to do this in G major, I'm going to do this in C minor, which I really like, actually. I like C minor. I love my minor keys. And if you do that and then you sit down at the piano and you practice your scales in that key, and then this song about, looking at the bookcase. What about looking at the bookcase? It's so bare, you took your books away, and now I just stare. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the thing with music is it doesn't have to rhyme, because when the note is the same, it sounds like it's rhyming. It's like a cheetah's rhyme, I always think. So if you've got a cadence, la 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 la, la 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 la, it doesn't matter if those two words don't quite match, because they're coming down, they're settling. Do you know what I mean? They're settling to the progression. I know those progressions weren't identical, but do you know what I mean? You kind of... I always love the way I can do that. Two completely wrong words which are nothing like each other, but it works so well because of what I've done with the notes. But it only works because I did that with the notes, whatever that was, I mean, I do everything by ear, so it's tricky for me to explain things, especially when I'm sitting here. I'm watching Bones. It's really starting to get on my nerves. I'm on I think I've watched about 200 episodes, something ridiculous. And Booth's really starting to annoy me because he doesn't shave. It's really pissing me off, guys. Why can't he shave? He used to be so clean-shaven and tidy when he was young. And now he just looks, and then he started gambling and all this stuff. I got completely invested in the characters because I've had it on while I've been editing for the past 2 weeks, solid. It's been on the minute I get up to the minute I go back to bed, because I just glance up every now and then when I'm, there's a lot of downtime when you're editing. You've got to wait for things to render. This is video editing. You've got to upload stuff, loads of uploading, loads of waiting for Kindle books to, to go through the checker to see if I've got spelling mistakes, all of this stuff. And it's quite good just to have something on the screen that you can sort of watch. But now I just think, well, no, I can't stop watching it until I've got to the end. But I don't know if it's ever going to end, guys. It's horrific. I mean, so many things have happened. They've died, and this has happened, and that's how he's gone to jail. He's become a gambling addict, and you just think, well, hang on, the series isn't even about you, is it? It's not called Booth. I saw on Quora, because I Googled, this is how tired I am, how exhausted from last week. I Googled, why does Booth look such a mess? and it took me to Quora, which I love. I mean, I don't go down the Quora rabbit holes. I usually just read one or two. And many other people, he really annoys them as well. I thought, I'm not alone. Then I felt guilty. It's not very nice, is it? You shouldn't be nasty about people. I just wish he'd shave, that's all. Just have a shave. That's all I ask. Anyway, guys, I'm running out of time. I've got 8 seconds left. Telltellerclub.com, I mean. There we go. See you later.